Hey there, it's Heather with an update on my mold detox. Today's the last day of May, and I just thought I needed to do a quick second update just because the one that I previously posted, I was so wrong in my intuitive assessment of how I'm doing. I was hoping to get an ART reading just to know where I was at, and I was suspecting that maybe because of the past readings over the past, the past 3, that mycotoxins were going down, but it turns out it's back as the #1 stressor on my whole system, along with other fungal overloads and Ehrlichia, which popped up out of nowhere. So, and then the second thing was Borrelia. So we know that's still in there. At some point, I guess I'll be addressing that again. But right now, my protocol is really simple and quite affordable, so I'm really pleased. And that is to just simply go after this overload and try to now have 3 instead of 2 organs that are being stressed out by fungal stuff and mycotoxins. So I've spent the last week kind of overwhelmed and pretty low emotionally and trying to stay neutral mentally so that I can process the feelings and not get too attached to them in my head. But it's been really challenging. I have to be honest about that. The good news is that the cost is down, and there's also no viruses showing up in my readings right now in the testing, which is great. So that COVID popping up last fall or whenever is no longer there. So that's good. And other viruses. So I'm just going to do the protocol. I did discover a flaw in my approach, which I feel like it's, responsible to log, since I'm actually making this whole process public, even though not many people watch it. And that is this. So I have this team, and the consultant does the ART, and I have opted not to have doctor appointments connected to the readings because as a cost saving thing. And that means that getting a reading like this, I get a protocol and I know it's very specific to me and what I need, and I trust that it's gonna move some things because I've seen progress before, dramatic actually. But it doesn't allow me to have the context and the conversation with anyone to know why or how, all the extra stuff. Is there a particular lifestyle thing I should be focusing on? Do they feel we know there's water damage in my workplace. Is this something where I need to highlight removing myself from that environment? Is that what's causing this to keep continuing? Obviously I'm sure it's part of it, but is it the reason, how important is it for me to do dust sample testing in my new apartment? Even though there's no visual of water damage that I can see, should I be testing for it? It's an old building. How many weeks am I doing this protocol? I don't even know when I should go back. I'm assuming in 6 to 8 weeks. That seems to be sort of her consistency. Her consistent recommendation is 5 to 6 weeks, and 5 is unrealistic. So I'm thinking every 2 months, for my budget reasons, and that just seems more gentle. Stuff like that. Do I need further labs? Should I correlate? Should I know the kind of mycotoxin and try to correlate it to building exposures that I'm having right now? Is that worth it? Or should I just do the protocol and just keep moving and just trust that the process is gonna work out? These are questions I have. I don't have the context for that because I'm not willing to pony up the additional, $200 or $250 for that, because the just getting the reading, with this team is around $350 every time out of pocket. So, and for some reason, people, that doesn't seem like a lot of money, and go for it if that's not. But for me, that's a lot, right? If I add on another thing on top of that, we're looking at somewhere between $400 and $550 before I even get to buying anything or making any changes in my life, which is an out of balance approach for me. I have to be really conscious about doing the least expensive, most promising outcome type things to get this thing over the over the horizon. I feel like I've been climbing this mountain for years. So I just wanted to like put in the second update that I was totally wrong, like totally wrong thinking that I was done with this, that I'm actually maybe in a little worse shape than I was back in February when I had my last one. I mean, there's been a lot of junk that's gone on in my life. So, who knows what's going on and where, but I'm just going to keep after it. And I wanted to post that just to be responsible, that it's got some flaws, what I'm doing right now. So it's an experiment. I'll log back in. I'm going to guess in 2 months when I have another reading, just to see how it's moved and how I'm feeling. So anyway, for what it's worth, there it is. That's the update. I hope you guys are well, and I will, update and log in for myself and for whomever later. Bye.